So, like for starting a collection in 2024, kind of like tips for people out there or who want to like maybe start a journey of collecting LaserDisc. What would you say? Any tips for people for collecting LaserDisc, and really any obstacles maybe with like the players themselves? Because I know in the past you've said you've had trouble with some of the players, and I remember you saying, well, you have to actually physically take it out of the player that time. So, I mean, what would you say? Any tips for people wanting to get into collecting the format this year, and kind of like obstacles you think they may find with maybe purchasing them and getting the players? How have you found it really?
I will say that the player is probably still the trickiest part. I mean, unfortunately, prices have gone up even more since we last chatted. I mean,
Yeah,
I did look on eBay just before we came online, and there were a few that are like £150, sometimes £200. Those that were made sort of in the late 90s. As long as they're fully working, people are going to charge more for the players. So I would say the movies is probably the easiest part. The player is still going to be the trickiest part. And there's a lot of boutique ones from Pioneer, like silver players that can like do more. They can do more things. Like you don't have to flip the discs, or they've got better audio connections at the back, more switches at the back. And so, yeah, I would say the player is going to be the trickiest bit. So you're going to have to fork out a bit of cash for one. And as I said, technical issues are always going to be a thing. And like I said, touch wood, the one I got fixed is still working. And the other one I purchased as well, still working. But I know at some point they could go bang at any point. But yeah, you just, because I don't like watching long films on them, because I'm just worried they're going to break or they're going to get too hot.
I get you. So, I think it's just that worrying it though with like all the formats. I mean, like I was like my previous job I left, and they had like some of the old like CRT TVs with the DVD players. I was thinking, what, I'm going to take one of them because they were up for grabs. And I was like, yeah, I'll take one of them. It'd be cool to have one. And then I was trying about 3 of them out. We had 3 of them in like this warehouse, and then I tried every single one of them, and the DV drive didn't come out, or there was some sort of error. They were like going black and white and stuff. There was just, I think that's just like, that's that worry with all the tech with like VHS players or LaserDisc players. You're always thinking, you haven't got a warranty. They're not as easy to get someone to fix them. And I think that is like, people are kind of like, if you want to invest in a format, there's that worry. Do I invest £100 in this player and then I can't do anything with it? Or it's, I suppose is that the worry? Do you think, have you ever had that with buying into the format initially? Were you kind of thinking that way, or?
Yeah, that was one of the main hesitations. Like, what if this does go bang? What am I going to do? And I think I told you I did find someone in North London who he's got his own little business, and he just fixes old electronics. And luckily I found him. But I've got to trek from like West London to North London, all the way through the central London, trying to find this random warehouse where this guy's got his own little business. And luckily he fixed it. But again, these people aren't around anymore. Like, not everyone knows how to fix them, and you've got the sort of the electricians that know these things. But again, it's a very sort of unknown oddity of a player, so not everyone is going to know how to fix them. I mean, I'm sure if you lived in Japan, you could probably get it fixed no problem, because they know their stuff. But like I said, the player is still going to be the main issue. But in terms of finding the movies, that really hasn't been an issue. I mean, you go on eBay, you go on the Facebook groups, everything's available. And if it's something quite rare, it's going to be more expensive. And if it's something very obsolete, like American TV movies, nothing that was like mainstream Hollywood or television shows or anything like that, or any sort of naughty films, I won't sort of mention that, that's sometimes.
We'll keep it PG.
And but yeah, I think the biggest challenge will still be, getting the player, and also getting the extra audio equipment. If you want to unleash DTS or Dolby AC3, you're going to need an AV receiver, and they're not cheap. They're quite expensive. I still haven't bought one because they're just so expensive, and I wouldn't know what to do with it. So yeah, I'd say equipment and players are still going to be the trickiest thing. So you need to do a lot of research and try and pick the right deal.